Alrighty, welcome back. We're at it again. I've got the console sitting in there where I want it to be, and I have the shifter in there. I got it tacked down to the tunnel. I actually took the part that I said yesterday that we had the column drop. I had that, and I decided to pull the tape off the column and put the column drop in. It seems to fit really nice. I'm just going to go on the other side, and Jolene's got it lit up there so you can see. I really don't have to sit down and show you that it fits nice. It does fit nice. I just tell you it fits nice. I'm really enjoying the way it looks. I enjoy the way it looks. It's nice and simple, but yet clean, and looks nice. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the console down underneath of it there, and I have to make a pattern of the tunnel so when it goes back on, it fits. Yesterday, when I put the shifter up inside the console, I could not get it to go where it needed to go, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. That bar that was going across, there was a bar going across there, and I kept that together. That had to be cut and dealt with, and I'll show you how I dealt with it. If you want to come in, you can take a look at where the shifter's at and where the hole's at. I made a very good guess yesterday. It was a very good guess. And when I say like there's more than one way to skin the rabbit, well, I thought about it, and I probably should have. I probably should have put the shifter where I wanted it, because I had the mark down there where I wanted it. I probably should have put the shifter there, took a tape measure and measured from there to the front of the shifter, and then I would have known where the hole went also on the console. And that just goes to show you that there's more than one way to do it. I am a guesser. I will guess a lot, and the reason being is when I guess, I just feel like it's an educated guess, and it quickens up the process for me to come in here and start measuring it and put the shifter in there and then go back over there where the console was right over there. I just eyed it up and went for it, but it turned out good. No, it turned out excellent. We go to the back side of the car. Every time, whenever you build something, you want to check my mic? She's touching me, boys. We woke up at 8 this morning looking like a 10. I mean, she did. When you're customizing something, you should always look around at generally every angle on it, a side angle, the front angle, the back angle. But anyways, if Jolene will go around to the back side of the car, you can look down through the back middle of the window, and then you get to see whether the console is even straight or in the middle and all that sort of stuff, and we're really happy with that. We're in the middle. Someone looked down, you'd have to really knock it really hard to try to find anything wrong with it. So we're happy with it there. But basically what I got to do is I got to fill in the console now. I got to make tie downs for it, and I got to make the cover for the box on top of the console. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not missing anything, am I? Also, I have to thank everybody for buying the shirt. It was a big hit. I got to thank you very much. And if we can beat it again today, that would be awesome. And all that does is help us out. And it's a nice, cheap shirt to show your support. As I get going here, I have to know the tunnel has this in it, and I'm going to have to, when I put this piece underneath here, I'm going to have it so it's rounded there so it fits in there. Just like when I put the console in there, that piece of round bar I put across from there to there on the other side, it messed me up for the shifter, basically, and I have to make a pattern. So I'm going to make another mark again. And actually I do know where, oh, there goes that light. There's a mark. There's a bend right here on this side. The console fits right in here, and the round bar come right on that mark on that side and the mark on the other side. So basically I know where it's at anyways. So I'm going to pull the console out, and I'm going to try to make that piece. Now this is the part where it gets tricky, is taking this thing in and out. Here we go, just like that. And you can see how I've got it mounted there, just tacked on the tunnel. Now, with that tacked on the tunnel, I have a rod, I showed you yesterday that I have a rod, it's a big rod in there that hooks onto the bottom of the shifter. You can see where the bottom of the shifter is. There's a thing down in here. If I want to change it up and not use that big rod that goes down inside there, it goes over and it goes down through here, and it would run upside the transmission and shift it. If I do not want to use that and make it a cable shift, I don't think it would be much of a problem. I think I'd just make a bracket on the front here, which would hold the cable, which would, I'd apply the cable to whatever piece I want. I could actually bolt it right to what I got going on here now. And then I could put a cable shift on if I want to, if I have to. Also, when I put this in here, before I stuck this in here, I welded the bolts on the bottom side of our stanchion, I guess you call it, and because then I can just unnut it, pull the shifter off, and the bolts will stay there, and then I just slide it back down on and put the nuts on. So there's no issue there. I don't have to go up underneath there. I tacked it all from underneath. I welded it all so it's nice and tight and right. I also cut, Jolene can go on the other side if you want to, Jolene. On the other side, actually you don't have to. I cut a piece of this out on the other side. I cut a piece of this out on the other side, so the shifter does not affect anything on the other side. Remember when I went back and forth on this thing? What do I got going on here? There we go. Push the shifter down. When I went back and forth, this piece way down here would hit on this piece, so I've dealt with that. So this shifter is just a spring. Must be a spring inside there. You push down on it. When it goes down, you pull back. It just pushes back up, and I guess it would keep it in place. That's basically what's going on there. I was kind of wondering, but that's what it is. So I know where my mark is on the floor here. My mark is right here on this part here and this part here. So what I have to do is I'm going to make a pattern that fits over top of this and has this shape. And I also have something, don't I? Jolene wants to check my mic. She wants to touch me again. I must be looking good this morning. Got a new shirt on. Got this thing here. Just thought of it. I got this thing here. Look at that now, would you? So I'm going to set this thing. Haven't used it yet. Today is the day. So what I need is I need that shape. And when the metal goes from here all the way up here and down around this piece, I need that shape in here to get that console to lay flat. Also, I need to cap it off there. This is what I done underneath. This is what I did. I took that piece of round bar that went across. I bent this piece. I welded it on, and then I cut that off. I didn't want to cut that off and then weld a piece on. So basically I welded this on before I cut that off. And all that did is let my shifter go in where it was supposed to go in. That was a pretty easy fix. It was quite quick to figure out why that would not go where I wanted it to go. It was because of that. And that's okay. Now, doesn't matter. So basically I'm going to make this piece for the underneath of it. And I'm going to use this bad boy. Look at this now. It's even got a nail and key glued to it. So I'm just going to go across here. Don't know which end to use, but I'm on the line here. That little one there got kicked out of place. And how much longer does it need to be? It needs to be probably 2 inches on either side. That's not hard to do. So that's our piece. I'm going to do that again. I can do it again anyways. Basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this upside down. If you can picture it, I've already played it in my brain. If you can picture it, the bottom of the car is going to be the white color. So this will be white. This will be the orange. This inside here will be the black. Piece of bad Chad flexible chrome coming along this edge, coming down like that. The chrome shifter with, I don't know, either the chrome on the dash that I put all the way across in through the middle with the shifter in the middle of it, or 3 or 4 runs of different kinds of chrome. But now that I get thinking about it, I might just do what I have on the dash to bring it all together. Run a strip through there like on the dash, run some chrome through there, and then run the shifter right in the middle of it. And so white, orange, black, chrome, and chrome. And with the black carpet, wow, that's going to look sexy. Not as sexy as Jolene, but it's going to be sexy. It's just going to be a nice piece of furniture inside that car is what I'm thinking. And it's going to be its own entity, and it just show a little bit of work. And the quicker I get it done, the quicker we can move on. The column and the steering, I feel really good about it. I'm going to sit in and show it to you. Why not? Why not? Ouch, ouch, that's sharp. Feel really good about everything. The steering has come down a little bit. It was up so high before. As I have the steering wheel where it's at, I got this little V going on here with these little horns, obviously. It fits some nice with this. It's almost identical with that, with the dash pod. This little V here. I don't know if that was on purpose with the wherever it come off of, but it sure does fit that some nice. It's bang on. The shifter's going to be nice. The armrest is quite nice. Jolene's a lot nicer, but here we go. Let's cruise on. I've got the piece that fixes the steering column now. I have the joint, the double D to the 3/4. That's good. I don't know if I need 2 pieces on this. I know I need a pair of scissors. I'm excited to see the paint on the console. That's what I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see the paint on the console. And I'm going to get it. I'm going to need another piece of paper. I'll cut some out of this. I need some for more length. I think I do anyways, yeah. Just going to tape, well, I'm going to tape that on that. I'm going to see first how wide I need it. I'll just tape it on here. Jeez. Sheesh. Sometimes when I do things and then I think after, wow, I should have done it this way or I should have done it that way, you know? Sometimes that happens, and that's called hindsight. And that's when I did the shifter thing. I thought, geez, I probably should have measured that before I did that. I got a bit risque, but, you know, I had an educated guess when I had it sitting over here on the table. It was an educated guess that I was going to get it to work. Just taping it together so it stays together. Alrighty, I can just leave it like that, I suppose. Basically, what I want to do is I want to get a piece. Now, I want that to stay there. And that way there, if it stays there, I might get a truer read. Alrighty. Hoping that stays there. Now I'm going to do this like I do every other time, is I'm just going to push in on it. It can be tricky, but if I and I hate to say it, but generally, the dirtier the hands, the better job. We're long enough. Alrighty. Let's pull this bad boy off, actually. Yeah, let's pull it off. Tape was just to hold it on them points. That's where I want it to go to. If it slid up on it, it just wouldn't give me a true read, that's all. I'm actually going to cut the, I can see both sides, but I think my glasses might help me a little bit. And I must thank you for the support on the shirts. And I have to give Jolene hats off for thinking of putting it on a shirt. And I have to give Henley a big hats off for quite an amazing caricature picture. Quite amazing. Well done. Well done. Well done. Very talented. My arm was getting short. Everything I've done on this console, I've done it at an 18 gauge. I use a Lincoln welder, and it's 023 wire, and it's going well. All right, that's my piece. Let's get a piece of metal. I got a piece of metal over there, but I got a piece of metal here I could probably use up. This 18 gauge is very thick. What can I say? Why I use 18 gauge? Very thick, very thick. I use it because what? Well, I guess I enjoy the thickness of the metal, and when I grind it, I feel like, you know, I'm allowed to grind it for the simple reason is how thick it is. That's why I think I'm allowed to grind it. We just bought a sheet of 22, is it? Mm-hmm. We just bought a sheet of 22 gauge. We're going to make the door cards for Jolene's card, or the 22 gauge. We're going to stick the material on the 22 gauge metal. But what a difference. Wow. What a difference. This metal here, I feel that, you know, I have a lot more to grind if I want to. And generally I'm making things with the 18 gauge, and that's why I'm using the thicker metal. We'll go right to the front like that. I'm gonna cut that off. And the reason being is I'll have to cut it off later anyways. Just go a little bit beyond what I have there on the outside. Good enough. Alrighty. Oh, didn't do this. Let's do this again. I have this piece up here. It goes straight across. When I go to put it in the cart, it would never fit. Fina, hear Fina's side, did you? Should put a mic on her. Huh? Fina's side. She's quite what? I'm not sure what she is, but let's put it all the way down, get it straight. I guess try to make it read as true as possible is all I'm trying to do. And I have to thank the person that gave us this. Appreciate it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I got it upside down, but I don't think it matters. Don't matter, does it? It don't matter. Now. Yeah, I'm just going to mark. I can't mark where the shifter hole is, it doesn't matter. I'm going to say we're 2 inches from that side. Somewhere. Probably. I'm going to guess again, people. I got more on one side than the other. Now, what side do I have that? I have that on that side, like that. Here's where I'm getting a little confused here.
That was the driver's side.
I had it like this, did I not?
Yep.
Okay.
Your left hand was driver's.
Huh?
Left hand was driver's side.
So when I flop that over, this is driver's side.
Yep.
Driver's side?
Yep.
What?
I think so, yeah.
Driver's side. Let's just turn it over and see. Driver's side. Makes a difference. I'm going to do this again. Makes a difference. I sort of like to get it right if I could. All right, now we got this thing up the right way this time. That shaker. Okay, driver's side. I'm saying basically that's in the center of the hump, basically. Yeah, it looks center that time. There we look center of that. Pull it up a little bit. I'm guessing again. Gotta go over and take a look. When I put that in the center, it's down and then flatten a little bit. Yep, not bad. If it's not, well then we'll adjust it. But it looks not bad. Go from there. What do you think, Fina? Huh? The amazing dog, Fina. She knows what's going on. She knows what's going on. So we got the cover yet to make. This piece, and haven't decided. As you take a look at this piece here, as you take a look at it, I can make it so it's about that thick and make it run up on an angle, or I can make it this high so it looks like it's the same distance on this end and same distance on this end, and make it flat, and then I could run. And what I'm thinking about, from the idea of that console over there on the wall, they've got a piece of chrome running on it, and I was thinking when I do this one, I'll be able to run a piece of chrome all the way around this here and to show the difference. So that could be Clipso coral, and the cover could be black, as far as that goes, if it wanted to be. But there's areas where I can run that chrome to make it look good. Ouch. Got me. Got me. Whoa. Come on now. What's that? Fight right to the last bit? And that's what it did. It fought me to the last bit. Got a little bit of cranking going on there. Going to grab a hammer. Ba, ba, ba. I'm on my original working bench, and I sure am feeling good. The original working bench. Alrighty. Fun stuff right here when you can driver's side. That's right. When you're building something for your car, that I'm just going to go in here. Do a little bending on it. This is easier to bend on than my knee. See where we're going. See if I got it anywhere near right. Because I did that guessing thing again. Yes, give her a little bit more. .18 gauge is what we're using. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to tack it on one side, and then I'll run the other side and we'll push it in. So basically, when I tack this on here, I'm going to want the metals to fit really good at the edge. So you can see how we're penetrated on the edge on this one here. And what happens is, to get nice penetration like that, the metal can't be out too far, and it can be in a little ways to get that good penetration, but that metal should fit together really, really nice. And what I don't mind doing is getting it tacked on and then taking the flapper wheel to get it fit nice. You know, to take it and take it off and on, take it off and on, and off and on, and off and on, and off and on, to get it to fit nice. That's not me. I'd rather tack it on and then make it work. Oh, I left it all the way open, and we are empty of gas. But I'm going to try it anyways, because that's who I am. I'll have to put a tank of gas on. And it's true, we're empty of gas. And the way you know, so you do not, cause yourself a bunch of issues. Get my hat all dirty. I don't want to get my hat all dirty. Cause yourself a bunch of issues. You know when your tank is dirty, when it spits like this, when there's a bunch of air that comes out of it. You can see how it's all fuzzy if you want to get close up on that. If your tank has got gas in it, it won't be fuzzy like that. Fuzzy was a bear. Just a little inconvenience, that's all. Set that down there. Pull this off. Change the tank and we're right back at her. There's a reason why I use the small tanks, and I'm not going to get into it, but there is a reason. I generally always put on a little bit of thread sealant, generally, just because that costs money, that gas costs money, and I generally don't like to throw away money. It's that simple. And why wouldn't I? And why wouldn't I? Anything with threads that you don't want to leak, you should probably try to use that stuff. I think that's tight enough for me. Alrighty, doesn't matter what it looks like there, does not matter. Put this back. Now I might as well show you why I'm doing this. This is what it's all about. On the gas opener all the way up. That was told to me, and I'm going for it because it's that easy. I've got it set, you can see it there, it's set on 15 pounds. I generally will try to run it on even less than that, 10 pounds, and the reason being is it's called money. You can watch when I pull the trigger, just shot down there a little bit. If I want less gas, I just turn it out. See how that? Pull the trigger, you can tell where it's at. If I want more gas, turn it in. And I'll go about there. And that's what I'm going to do. Also, this is what I'm going to do, just because. It's called money. There's nothing worse than buying a tank of gas and it be gone in no time because of just not checking things. I can see if it's leaking or not. Soapy water will do it for you, let you know. It doesn't look like we have any leaks going on, so I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. So I guess that's the basics of changing your tank. That's basically all I do there is what I just showed you. Now let's get back on the schedule here. Probably should have bent that some more to get it fitting a little bit better, but we'll do that right now while we get it on there. Probably should have done a lot more bending on it, shouldn't we? But like I said, I can rip it back off. I'm just not sure if I want to tack one side than the other. The welder. Probably could have got it fitting a little bit better, probably. But I did not, so let's continue on. Sort of want to get that where that's supposed to be. And that way there, I can just push it in and deal with it. Aye! Youch, it's hot. And it's still hot, believe me. There we go. Just a little tack will do. That'll keep it going straight. Now I'm going to shove it in to make it work. Basically, shove it in to make it work. And when I shove it in to make it work, if it's not fitting the greatest, that's okay, because the simple reason is baby gonna give me some gloves. Here, you need some gloves, she said. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn that too. I got that metal underneath my feet. I'm sort of in a little bit of a mess, not used to working on the bench. Should have it on the ground probably. Not used to working on the bench, but we've got it here. All right. Where's my hammer? My hammy. All right. I'm gonna just tack it on. Just tacking it. Going to the other side. Okay. So we get this on here right. Ah! And I have to run that down there tight to make it right, because if I don't run it down tight on the corner, it's just like tape, it won't fit that good. Want that to stay up there like that. That's fine. That little gap there is fine. But that gap there, we'll have to get that fixed before we go any further. You want to tighten that stuff up before you start running that stuff. And we're going one side to the other side. Trying to get it. Trying to get it going right. Probably not your easiest piece to put on. I'm sure we'll get it. Just tacking on as I go. Yeah, I'm happy. Alrighty, cool. Cool. Try to make it tight.
Your ground.
What's that, sweetheart?
Ground.
She looks after me all the time. All the tacks that I'm putting on right at the present moment will probably get ground off. And the reason I'm saying that, because they're not pretty. They're not pretty, no they're not. And they're high, they're too high. I'm going to have to get the metal fitting right. Ground fell off?
Yeah.
I'm gonna whack that one. All right, now we're talking turkey. Now we can just kind of go along here. That one's fine. And what's going to happen is I'm just going to kind of knock it on here in a few places. Up in here, we'll just tighten her up a little bit. Flop her over the other side. Just gonna tighten it up in here. Thanks to the glove, sweetheart. Looking after me, she is, boys, looking after me. So now, basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the flapper wheel. I'm gonna knock that on for a second so this doesn't fall off. Remember that, the gas, weld it. That'll hold it better. I'm gonna get the flapper wheel. Now I'm gonna get the metal to fit exactly. What was the hand open for?
I was just closing my eyes.
You were protecting yourself. I understand. Now, I'm going to take my cord. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock the metal down, and I'm going to show you why. I think I show you always why I do what I do. But you can see how the metal is sticking out on that edge? I would never want to weld that on there, and I would never get a job like that if I did that. Because when I welded it all on there, then my weld would I'd have a puddle of weld going on there that wouldn't look good. Or it would look okay, but you would not get the penetration, or you get penetration, yes you would, excuse me, but you would not be allowed to grind it all off because you wouldn't have anything. If you come over here, basically, what I really want, to be able to grind something off like that, you know, I flushed it off there and I flushed it off there, I left the corner. And the reason I was able to leave the corner because when I weld that, that's where my weld is. So when I come in to grind this, I'll flush the weld off this side, hold my grinder flat and flush it off this side. I can flush it off this side, and then I can be satisfied that it looks like that inside. There's where my weld is. Right? That's basically things have to be set up quite nicely for you to make something nice, and that's the basis of it right there. You have to set it up like that in order to get it to perform the way you want to. You can see all the way along here that this side is really good. I'm really good on, like I'm allowed to weld most of that up in here. I got a bit much. And basically I just put the piece on, so I got over a little bit, but you realize I had it a little bit bigger than I needed it because I did not cut the line off when I cut the piece. And generally you haven't got it that close anyways. If you want to take the time to try to make it fit perfectly before you put it on, it just takes more time, that's all. Where I am applying it and then making it fit, I find it just a little bit quicker. Don't want to go that way. If I go that way on it, it's going to pull the metal off. I got to go the other way with the grind. And where the weld there is now, where there's too much material, like where the weld is on the face of that, I'll weld this up before I grind them off. You know, I'll come in here and I'll tack it where it's looking good. I'll come in here and tack it where it's looking good before I grind those off. And that's just a matter of making everything right before you do that. I think I like everything on this side. Let's go to the other side. The other side needs more work, and that's okay. Just going to knock it on tight. Not interested in hurting your ears, but it's got to be done. Also, these flapper wheels, I like the coarser grit, the better when I start grinding this metal. I remember not very long ago, but a while ago, that I would generally use a hard disc on that. But these flapper wheels are something else. They grind a lot quicker and nicer. They do. And I like the 40 grit, or I think this is a 50 grit. I like the lower the number, the tougher, the sharper the grit, or the coarser the grit. And I really like the lower grit ones because they really do cut the metal nicely. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just knocking this edge of this metal down to get to that other metal there, so I know when I weld it up I'm going to have superior penetration, and I'm going to be able to grind it off like that. That will be ground off after I connect all this stuff. Ear things are up there, I know that. I'm almost done. So basically I'm ready to plunk that on. I'm ready to plunk that on. Shifter's right in there. It's going to be very tight. I might have to straighten that out with a hammer and dolly after I get going. I'm not sure. Might have to. Don't know. But right now I'm going to just plunk that on. I might as well put my gloves back on because Jolene got them for me. Good morning, Floyd. Be right with you. You're more than welcome to come in, though. What's it? Gonna make friends first? Floyd's very smart. Gotta make friends first. Let's take this, and I can't show you the inside. I was going to show you the inside, how it's penetrated. You can obviously see on that how it's penetrated on this one. See how that's all penetrated in there? And you would never get that. You will not get that if your metal's not fitting right. If your metal's not fitting right, you're not burning through like that, like I've done there. And basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw a few more on this side. Alrighty, I just want to cut more. Also, with this console laying like this, a lot of the heat is not going down this way or up this piece. It's coming up because of the heat. Anything like that, like, yeah, and like that door skin. See how I've cut that door skin off that car? If you can, if it's possible, you know, you can tack your door skin on. You'd have your door on, you tack your door skin on, and you would tack it on, you know, so it fits the opening. But in all honesty, I would take that door off, I would turn it upside down, and then weld the door skin on. All the heat is not coming up here. You know, I get all this metal up here that I have a chance to cause a mess. So I would turn it up the other way and let the heat rise up the other way, if that makes sense. Also, you have this lip that goes around that I've hidden with fiberglass. You have this lip that goes around. When you're done welding that up, that's when you dolly that on nice, and then it tightens your door all back up again. Basically, I'm just showing that because I like that it's laying this way to weld that up because the heat's coming up. If I took and turned it up this way and welded it all up, all the heat comes up this way. Now I have that on there. That's cased in there like that. That's going to fit on the... I'd almost like to take the shifter off. I got it taped up. Yes, I have. I've got it taped up because I don't want to scratch it. Not saying that I won't, but I don't want to scratch it the best I can. Basically, that's what's going on. So right now, I have the tunnel cut out. Not quite sure if that's exactly right yet. So that's what's going to be sitting like in the car. So this is all going to be closed in. You're going to see carpet, floating tunnel. I'm going to cap the back. I think what's going to happen right at the present moment, I'm going to call it that. We're going to give away a hat or a shirt. I have Floyd Hiltz in here. We might be related somehow, some way down the line. I think it's 3 men that came across from Germany at one time. Two brothers. One was supernatural and one was the other way. We're not sure. But we had 2 brothers come across from Germany that made all the Hiltzes in Nova Scotia? North America. And Floyd is going to do Jolene's interior on her Bugatti. And we're going to discuss the door cards and that sort of stuff. But we're going to give away a hat or a shirt. How long you been doing interior, Floyd?
45, 50 years.
That's long enough, eh? Let's give away a hat or a shirt. And you get a chance to win a new shirt that Jolene has designed with Ken Henley artwork on it. And it's done quite well. You might as well jump on the old train and get one yourself. So the console is coming. I just got a couple more pieces to make. And I'll continue with that today. I'll continue on it a little bit. I'm going to talk to Floyd here about what's got to go on with the interior. And I will continue on with the console and get it welded up and get it ground off. You basically know what's going on. You can also see how this V8 is made. Aiden welded the 8 together the very first time he came here. Just give him a little welding project to do. And I couldn't leave the 8 alone. So we got Jolene to make the V, and then we made this sign and hung it there. And that's what it is. But the only way to get that edge, and not say the only way to get that edge, you can weld it up with more material and grind it off, and then, you know, wonder if it's going to hold or not. You can. But what I'm saying is, to get it really nice, you really have to make them edge of the metal come together like so. So your weld lays in there, and your metal's like that. Nuala Shields. Nuala Shields. She has won a hat or a shirt of her choice. Great shirt. You can get it in white or black. Shifting gears, once again, literally good to have an upbeat change. Is that through or though?
Though.
Through. Though after the engine
Debacle.
Gee, she's writing big words for me. Debacle of the past several shows. Yes, it is. It's a good thing. But you know what? That's what makes the show and the YouTube station really relatable, is that we go through the truth. You basically know what's going on. You know the inside of the shop. You know what's inside the engine. You know when I dropped the engine. You know when we bought it. You know when everything fails. I hope that you appreciate that we show the real, and the real is probably the best stuff going. And you've won a hat or a shirt of your choice, and we want to thank you for making a comment, and that's why you get one. And if you don't make one, you don't get a hat or a shirt. Have a good one, everybody. See you tomorrow.